I don't know. There's far right, there's far left, but we're all just people, and we've got to be able to listen to other people, and that's what we do. So please subscribe on Facebook, YouTube, and thirdsideconvo.com, and we look forward to seeing you again on another episode of Third Side Convo. Thank you. Bless your pointed little head. So sorry, I shouldn't talk.
Hey,
I wasn't
really?
supposed to talk. I know you did.
That's in the audio.
Yeah, go.
Ted, my niece's
Jeff.
house burnt down. My niece's house burnt down. Are you aware of changes in the
Jeff,
building codes? Please,
Jeff,
let me
we'll
know.
see you
I
next
really
week.
want to know.
We'll let you know. Okay.
Everybody.
Okay, with that, does the Zoom call hear us?
Yes.
Yes.
Whoa.
Oh my goodness, we can hear you. We should fix that. Okay, let's start off with the pool guy.
What?
Is the pool guy still? No, pool. Don't tell me the pool guy logged off. Seriously?
Oh no.
Steve, the
Hello?
pool guy.
Oh man. Okay, let's go
I'm
with
not a
Ford.
pool guy, but
What do you
I
think?
just want to hold this up.
Sebastian.
Since
how you doing?
Ted very correctly, I agree with him, said people jump to conclusions without having gotten the facts. Here's my copy of the Mueller report, which I read from cover to cover, found 4 typos in it. Ted, can you
Yeah,
send your
I'm
copy of the
arriving
Mueller
at
report
7:30,
where you
she'll
waited
set the 8,
until you saw whether there was proof or no proof of collusion before you said that there was collusion with the Russians?
Okay.
I was just
What?
wondering. I would otherwise agree with you that people should wait until the facts are out.
No, this.
Okay.
Okay.
Here's my copy. I read the whole
Because
thing.
last,
Did you read the whole thing? Because
I did know that he recommended certain things, but he left it to Congress. I know that he believed that there were some connections, but he
no,
left
he
it to
wasn't.
Congress.
No, he's not hosting.
Okay.
Last
But my
one.
Isn't this
point
the
is,
after show on the far right?
I agree. Hold on. I agree with Ted that a lot of the root cause is people jumping to conclusions without having any facts. And I would say I couldn't agree with that anymore. Okay. The other thing I will say is I lived in, is it Peter, his country? I lived in your country twice. Okay. And I knew enough people who were middle class or pseudo middle class, I'll say for Britain, and who felt that they couldn't recognize their country anymore. And part of the discussion that I would have with them is part of it, you need to look in the mirror because you sold this castle to this Muslim and Arab. You sold this department store called Harrods to this Muslim and Arab. You were very happy to get their money.
No.
But oh, by the way, when it turned around and bit you, okay, now you turn around and say, oh, I don't recognize my country anymore. Who invited all that capital to come in and the people along with it?
All right. Well, that's jumping on the elephant in the room. Okay, who else is in the who else is in the
Larry Haber.
That, by the way, I have a great comment.
Larry Haber.
In the Zoom room.
Hello.
Okay, we'll be right with you, Ted. Larry, you got kicked off. What any good thoughts you could have had?
I think the debate isn't a left or right debate. That's why we're all over the place right now.
Yeah. Could be
It
true.
really doesn't show. I mean, usually we've got one or the other, and then we start talking about how to get to some middle ground. If I don't think there's any way to do that with this issue. Everybody's got their opinion, and there's lots of moving parts. It's not just as simple as immigration. It's about people, it's lives, it's a lot of issues that everybody wants to throw out as being simple to talk about, but it's very complicated.
You know, some of them are the most sensitive issues too, when you're talking about culture or keeping your nation or even immigration.
Right.
Okay.
Very, very personal, very sensitive, hard to talk about.
Don Thomas.
Hey, it's like I'm kind of with Larry on the part of here of this conversation of finding the common ground, and the common ground is it's getting back to, I always say this, back to morals, and I think we as a world, even as a country, our morals is just out of whack. Right now it's become about who can beat who, how much money I can get, and how much leverage I can get on people. I think there was a good movie called it was a stupid movie. It had John Travolta and Forrest Whitaker in it. It was called Unearthed or something like that, and it was all about who got the best leverage on the next person. And the whole movie was about capturing the unintelligent and the unintelligent. It was about who had the most leverage, they had the most power. And And I think that's where we headed with this left and right conversation is who has the most power or who wants the most power is the problem that we're running into.
That's a valid point. You could say that the people making the argument betwixt the two, it is a power issue.
Yeah, that's right. Who can get the if you
Well,
want
yeah. Well,
if
some
you're
people feel they're leaving it. They're losing it.
if you're a video game player or somebody back from the day like what Joe Boy might knows, it's almost like Sonic, the Chaos Emerald. Who can get it? You know, who
Hey,
can
Joe
cause
Boy,
the most chaos?
Joe Boy, you want to weigh in?
Well, you know what? I think something we might have missed, and to me, it was something that I was hoping we'd touch, is that we're looking at conservatives or the very far right, and then we have the left, and that is spreading around the entire world, not just the US. And one thing to understand is that what you call it, I guess, a rainbow of where you are on that spectrum has shifted dramatically. And a good example is Elon Musk, who was considered to be a very much a centrist. And now they consider him a very far right because his views have not changed. But what they consider to be left and right has changed. When back in the days of Reagan, it was very much different. So I think we're shifting a lot what we think is far left or far right, because I've always been very middle, and yet I'm being told I'm way, way right. And I'm like,
Right.
not really. My views haven't changed a whole lot.
Neither of mine.
I've more on the left.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that we missed talking about, is that I think the political spectrum has shifted dramatically.
And it's really not that simple. It's really not nearly as simple as Ted alluded to.
Well, let's Ted answer that question.
Hey, Steve, let Ted. I want to hear Ted. What were you going to say on that, Ted?
The only thing Elon Musk cares about is profit. If there's profit on the left or profit on the right, that's where he's going. That's all he cares about, and that's power. Imagine. Let's imagine Elon Musk is convicted of election interference, and let's say they give him the biggest fine in the world. Let's say they give him $100 million fine. He takes that out of petty cash. Doesn't even make him.
Okay, well,
wait.
Okay, you did a great job talking about how much you dislike Elon Musk and how you think he just flip-flops, but he didn't flip-flop. His position has always stayed the same, which exactly what the spectrum is and where we think left and right is.
When he was starting his companies, Democrats were very pro-tech because it was very smart, very oriented on developing high-end processes that were needed, from PayPal to Facebook to everything. These are things that made the country go. By the way, and it has a lot to do with the fact with the demographic breakdown now, the college-educated people are primarily more Democratic leaning than the non-college. And a lot of those people who work in tech are college educated.
Okay, I'm leaving. I'm so resentful of this. I've got more education than a lot of people who write these condescending articles about this. And, you know, they have education. Yeah, they have education in bullshit. Okay?
It's okay.
Education in pragmatic.
We'll get mad.
To say, oh, we're educated.
Don't get mad, Steve.
Philosophy, gender studies. Yeah, you're educated. Okay.
Don't get mad, Steve.
What's your degree in?
I know.
Don't get mad.
Oh, journalism. Oh, okay.
Basket weaving. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Back to the show.
Educated.
Don't get mad. The movie was called Battlefield Earth. That's the name of the movie.
Yeah, it could be. Oh my God. Oh boy.
Educated. I love that one.
Watch the movie Battlefield Earth.
Aliens in that movie?
I'm not sure. Okay.
Why did London become the center in the world for laundering Russian money, Russian oligarch money? How did London get that way?
Where else would you suggest they do it?
Good point.
Where else to get? I mean, it's geographical. I mean, I got
all right, hey guys, I gotta go.
Bye, Don.
All right.
Bye.
Okay. Is that Peter?
I got soundly castigated by the head of the Hong Kong Monetary Authority for suggesting that there's money laundering going on in Hong Kong, right? On the basis that money laundering is all to do with South American drug cartels and they don't come to Hong Kong. You know, it didn't seem to cross the idiot's mind that there might be the occasional pickpocket or some nefarious activity going on in mainland China. But and unfortunately, it's a function of geography. that London is a more preeminent, more dynamic financial center than Frankfurt. Hong Kong's too far, and they don't want to come to New York. So I don't think there's any magic in that.
Yeah. All right.
And London's a wonderful city.
Once you get the mechanisms up and running, and I remember, I don't know, I may have done it. If Ollie's online, he may remember one of my fraud presentations. I go through an investigation which actually centered on a little backstreet accounting firm in London. I mean, when I say little, and I mean backstreet, I mean little and backstreet, and yet they were offering their services in Arabic and Russian. You would think that if you were a major legitimate oligarch, you'd be having your company accounts audited by the big four accounting firms and dealing with the futures. But no. And
wow. Yeah.
Well, I think it's an interesting subject, and when we look at how the different parallels go, and we're talking about left and right. I did like when Peter and both Ted were talking about people calling each other's names. You're right. Yeah. Snowflakes were used a lot for
uneducated.
Deplorables and Nazis, and anything can be violent caused against was called to the people that are on the right. So no one's saying, let's go kill snowflakes. Let's go punch snowflakes. But I guarantee you people have no problem punching Nazis, and they're calling all the sides Nazis. So it's a little bit of a difference. Am I saying it's right or wrong? No, they're both wrong.
No, Joe, what about the Bessie boys going through the January 6th uprising and hitting cops and everything? Give me a break. It's just liberals who hit people. Give me a break.
I forgot.
I have January to agree with Ted there.
Was the thing of the world. I forgot about that one.
I reluctantly have to agree with Ted on what he just said, but in any event.
Did anyone celebrate January 6th? I don't remember. When it was a new year, I don't remember he was celebrating.
Yeah, right. Okay, this after show.
Oh my God!
Too much. And hey, Ted, thanks for making the effort to get on. Who the heck knows why you weren't able to get on the first time, Peter? I appreciate you.
He's drafting his next email.
Getting your exercising, and Michelle, it's always good to see you, and we will see everybody next week.